The Iridian commander slammed his fist on the console, cracking the screen. These puny humans dared to enter Iridian space. He would make them regret their insolence with the last breath in their soft, weak bodies. Captain Jason Reyes stood on the bridge of the UNS Perseus, a bead of sweat running down his temple. This was the moment of truth, humanity's first contact with the newly discovered Iridians. The alien race was advanced, hostile, and known to enslave other species. The Perseus was just a small exploration vessel, primitive to the Iridians, but the humans had to succeed in this peaceful mission. The survival of Earth depended on it. Reyes took a deep breath as the comlink crackled to life. "Attention, unknown vessel," the Iridian commander growled. "Your pathetic craft is trespassing in Iridian space. Identify yourselves immediately or be destroyed." Reyes stood tall, his voice steady. "This is Captain Jason Reyes of the UNS Perseus, representing the United Nations Space Command and all of humanity. We come in peace, seeking friendship between our worlds." A harsh, mocking alien laugh cut through the comm feed. Reyes felt a chill down his spine as the first historic human-Iridian interaction began on the wrong foot. The fate of Earth balanced on a razor's edge. Niran drummed his fingers on the armrest of his command chair, his patience wearing thin as the humans continued their futile attempts at diplomacy. The audacity of these creatures, thinking they could simply waltz into Iridian space and make demands. It was time to put them in their place. "Commander Zorax," Niran barked, "dispatch a squadron of fighters to surround the human vessel. Let's see how they respond to a show of force." "Yes, High Commander," Zorax replied, relaying the orders to the fighter pilots. On the bridge of the Perseus, Captain Reyes watched as a dozen Iridian fighter crafts encircled his ship, their weapon systems locked onto the human vessel. The comlink crackled to life once more, and Niran's voice filled the bridge. "Captain Reyes, I grow tired of your empty words. Surrender your vessel and submit to Iridian authority or face the consequences." Reyes stood firm, his eyes narrowing. "High Commander Niran, I must inform you that any hostile action against the Perseus will be met with equal force. We seek peace, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." Niran's laughter echoed through the comlink. "You humans are even more foolish than I thought. Very well, Captain. Let us see how your puny ship fares against the might of the Iridian Empire." With a flick of his wrist, Niran signaled for his fighters to open fire. The Iridian pilots, confident in their superiority, unleashed a barrage of laser fire upon the Perseus. To their shock, the human ship's advanced defensive systems sprang to life, neutralizing the incoming fire with ease. The Perseus remained unscathed, its hull gleaming defiantly in the starlight. On the bridge, Reyes realized that the time for diplomacy had passed. "All hands, battle stations. Prepare to engage the enemy." The crew of the Perseus sprang into action, their training and expertise evident in their swift responses. Though primarily an exploration vessel, the Perseus was equipped with cutting-edge weaponry, developed during humanity's previous encounters with hostile alien races. As the Iridian fighters continued their assault, Reyes gave the order to return fire. The Perseus weapon systems locked onto the enemy crafts, and with a series of brilliant flashes, the human ship's advanced lasers and missiles streaked through space. The Iridian fighters, caught off guard by the human ship's firepower, found their shields and hulls sliced through like paper. Within minutes, the once proud Iridian squadron was reduced to a field of debris, the remnants of their fighters drifting lifelessly in the void. On the Iridian command ship, Niran stared at the viewscreen in disbelief, his eyes wide with shock and anger. News of the confrontation spread like wildfire throughout the Iridian Empire. On the homeworld, the population began to question the wisdom of provoking the humans, their confidence in their own superiority shaken by the unexpected defeat. Some Iridian officials, recognizing the potential threat posed by humanity, advised Niran to pursue a more diplomatic approach. But the High Commander, His pride wounded by the loss of his fighters refused to back down. "Mobilize the fleet," he snarled, his eyes burning with rage. "We will crush these humans and show them the true power of the Iridian Empire." As the Iridian fleet assembled, a force far greater than the Perseus could hope to match, Captain Reyes knew that reinforcements were needed. He quickly composed an urgent message to UNSC Command back on Earth, detailing the situation and requesting immediate support. The stage was set for a full-scale war between humanity and the Iridians, a conflict that would determine the fate of both civilizations. The Perseus, though victorious in its first encounter, now found itself at the center of a storm that threatened to engulf the entire galaxy. The bridge of the Perseus shook as the Iridian fleet closed in, their weapons pounding the human ship's shields. Captain Reyes gripped the armrests of his chair, his knuckles white as he watched the enemy ships on the view screen. "Captain, incoming transmission from UNSC Command," the communications officer reported, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. Reyes nodded. "Put it through." The view screen flickered, and a familiar face appeared. Admiral Ling, the head of UNSC Intelligence, looked grimly at Reyes. "Captain, I have some information that may change the tide of this battle. I'm transmitting a classified file to you now. It's time you learned about the Prometheus project." Reyes's eyes widened as he read the file, his heart racing with each revelation. Humanity had been developing a new class of warships, the Prometheus-class vessels, in secret for years. These ships were equipped with technology that made the Perseus look like a child's toy. Advanced AI systems that could outthink any organic pilot. Quantum entanglement communication that allowed instantaneous coordination across vast distances, and a propulsion system that defied the laws of physics, enabling the ships to outmaneuver and outpace any known alien spacecraft. A task force of Prometheus-class ships, led by the UNS Olympus, is already on its way to your location, Admiral Ling said. "They'll be there within hours. Hold the line, Captain. Help is coming." Reyes felt a surge of hope and pride. Even in their darkest hour, humanity's resilience and ingenuity shone through. "Understood, Admiral. The Perseus will give the Iridians a fight they won't forget." As the transmission ended, Reyes turned to his crew. "You heard the Admiral. We're not alone in this. Let's show these Iridians what humans are made of." The crew cheered, their spirits lifted by the promise of reinforcements. On the Iridian homeworld, High Commander Niran paced the command center, his frustration mounting with each report of the Perseus's stubbornness. "High Commander," one of the Iridian officers called out, "our sensors are detecting a massive energy signature approaching the system at an impossible speed." Niran frowned. "What do you mean, impossible?" The officer shook his head. "The readings don't make sense. These vessels seem to be defying the known laws of physics." A chill ran down Niran's spine as he realized the implications. The humans possessed technology far beyond what the Iridians had assumed. He had badly underestimated them. Suddenly the Prometheus task force dropped out of hyperspace, their sleek, angular forms surrounded by shimmering energy fields. The Iridian fleet, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Admiral Arjun Singh, a legendary figure in the UNSC, wasted no time. "All ships engage the enemy fleet. Let's show them what human ingenuity can do." The Prometheus-class ships surged forward, their advanced weapons and propulsion systems allowing them to dance around the Iridian vessels. Niran watched helplessly as his fleet was systematically dismantled by the smaller, more advanced human force. The Iridian ships, despite their numerical advantage, were outmatched and outmaneuvered at every turn. Their weapons fire dissipated harmlessly against the Prometheus-class ships' energy shields, while the human vessel's own weapons cut through Iridian hulls like a hot knife through butter. As the battle raged on, Niran felt a growing sense of dread. He had gravely underestimated the humans, and his decision to provoke them had likely doomed the Iridian Empire to defeat. The once proud Iridian fleet was being torn apart before his eyes, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. The view screen on the bridge of the UNS Olympus lit up with an urgent transmission from UNSC Command. Admiral Singh leaned forward in his chair, his brow furrowing as he read the intelligence report. The Iridians had been working on a planet-killer weapon called the Doomsday device, hidden away in a fortified bunker deep under the surface of their homeworld. If the Iridians managed to activate it, it would spell the end for humanity and countless other species across the galaxy. Singh clenched his jaw. He had to act fast. "Captain Reyes, I have a mission for you and your team. We need you to infiltrate the Iridian homeworld and destroy that weapon before they can use it against us. The rest of the task force will continue engaging the enemy fleet to draw their attention away from you." Reyes nodded, his eyes glinting with determination. "Understood, Admiral. We won't let you down." The captain assembled his team, each member equipped with state-of-the-art stealth gear and powerful exosuits. They boarded a small, sleek craft designed for covert operations and set off towards the Iridian homeworld. As they approached the planet's surface, Reyes and his team activated their stealth systems, rendering their ship invisible to Iridian sensors. They landed near the coordinates of the bunker housing the Doomsday device and made their way towards the entrance, moving silently through the alien landscape. The team managed to slip past the Iridian defenses undetected, their advanced technology proving invaluable in infiltrating the heavily guarded facility. They navigated through a maze of corridors, following the schematics provided by UNSC intelligence. As they neared their target, a group of elite Iridian guards led by High Commander Niran himself confronted them. Reyes and his team found themselves locked in a fierce firefight, energy weapons scorching the walls around them. "Push forward," Reyes shouted over the chaos of battle. "We have to reach that device." The human soldiers fought with unwavering resolve, their exosuits enhancing their strength and speed as they engaged the Iridian guards in close-quarters combat. Despite their advanced technology, the Iridians struggled to match the skill and determination of Reyes and his team. In the heart of the bunker, Niran managed to reach the control room housing the Doomsday device. With a triumphant sneer, he initiated the activation sequence, knowing that even if the Iridians lost the war, they would take humanity with them. Reyes burst into the room, his armor battered and scorched from the intense fighting. He saw Niran standing at the control panel, a malevolent grin on the alien commander's face. "It's too late, human," Niran spat. "The device is armed. In a matter of minutes, your precious Earth will be nothing but dust." Reyes glanced at the countdown timer on the screen, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew what he had to do. "Get out of here," he ordered his team. "Evacuate now." As his team reluctantly retreated, Reyes charged towards the control panel, dodging energy blasts from Niran's weapon. The two leaders clashed in a brutal hand-to-hand battle, trading blows as the countdown ticked away. With a final desperate effort, Reyes managed to overpower Niran and input the override codes into the control panel. The Doomsday device powered down, its menacing hum fading into silence. But the victory came at a cost. The bunker, destabilized by the firefight and the device's deactivation, began to collapse around them. Reyes, knowing he had no time to escape, closed his eyes and thought of Earth as the ceiling caved in, burying him and Niran beneath tons of rubble. On the bridge of the UNS Olympus, Admiral Singh watched as the Iridian fleet, now leaderless and demoralized, surrendered to the Prometheus task force. The UNSC had won the day, but the price had been high. Singh bowed his head in a moment of silence, remembering the brave men and women who had given their lives to protect humanity and the galaxy from the Iridian threat. In the aftermath of the war, the once mighty Iridian Empire was dismantled, its territories divided among the various galactic powers. The UNSC emerged as a dominant force on the galactic stage, its advanced technology and military prowess earning both respect and fear from other civilizations. But even as the galaxy celebrated the end of the Iridian threat, those who had fought and survived carried the weight of their fallen comrades in their hearts. At a somber ceremony honoring the heroes of the war, Admiral Singh stood before a sea of grieving faces, his voice heavy with emotion. So he will never forget the sacrifices made by Captain Jason Reyes and all those who gave their lives to protect us, he said, his gaze sweeping over the assembled crowd. Their bravery and selflessness will forever be remembered as we carry on their legacy, vigilant against any future threats that may arise in the vast reaches of space. As the ceremony concluded, the survivors of the Iridian War looked to the stars, their resolve stronger than ever. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, united in their determination to safeguard humanity and the fragile peace they had fought so hard to achieve. In the aftermath of the Iridian War, UNSC scientists pored over the wreckage of destroyed alien ships. They carted away fragments of hull, bits of strange machinery, and intact weapons to secret research facilities. The Iridian technology was beyond anything humans had ever seen. Unlocking its secrets became a top priority. Dr. Amelia Novak, the lead researcher on the Iridian reverse engineering project, spent long hours examining the alien propulsion systems. The engines seemed to warp the very fabric of space-time, allowing for incredible speed and maneuverability. Her team worked tirelessly to understand the underlying principles, hoping to replicate the technology for human ships. In another lab, Dr. Liam Okafor and his colleagues studied the Iridian energy weapons. The destructive power they wielded was immense, capable of slicing through the toughest human alloys like a hot knife through butter. They ran countless simulations and experiments, trying to adapt the technology for the UNSC's arsenal. As the scientists delved deeper into the Iridian database, they stumbled upon a chilling discovery. Hidden among the vast troves of data was a cryptic reference to an entity known as the Void Bringer. The records were fragmented and incomplete, but what little information they contained painted a terrifying picture. The Void Bringer, it seemed, was a cosmic horror of unimaginable power. It had the ability to consume entire star systems, leaving nothing but darkness in its wake. The ancient texts spoke of civilizations enslaved and worlds destroyed by this malevolent being. Dr. Novak felt a chill run down her spine as she read the translated texts. "It's as if the Iridians were mere puppets," she whispered to her colleagues, her voice trembling. "This Voidbringer was pulling their strings all along." Admiral Singh, upon receiving the report from the research teams, felt the weight of responsibility pressed down upon him. He realized that the Iridian War had been just the beginning, a prelude to a much greater threat. The UNSC had to prepare for the coming darkness. Singh stood before a holographic map of the galaxy, studying the blinking lights that represented human colonies and allied systems. He knew that the UNSC couldn't face this new enemy alone. They needed allies, and they needed them fast. The Admiral thought back to the sacrifices made by Captain Reyes and the brave men and women who fought and died in the war against the Iridians. Their deaths could not be in vain. He vowed to honor their memory by ensuring that humanity was ready to face whatever horrors the Voidbringer might unleash. As Singh watched the stars twinkle on the map, he couldn't shake the feeling of foreboding that crept over him. The UNSC stood on the brink of a new era, one filled with danger and uncertainty. The once victorious humans now faced an enemy far more ancient and powerful than they could have ever imagined. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and Admiral Singh knew that the true fight for humanity's survival had only just begun. The Iridian War, as devastating as it was, might pale in comparison to the horrors that awaited them in the face of the Voidbringer's imminent arrival. Singh clenched his fists, his jaw set with determination. He would not let humanity fall. They had come too far, fought too hard to be consumed by the darkness. The UNSC would stand against the Voidbringer, no matter the cost. As the Admiral looked out into the vast expanse of space, he couldn't help but wonder what the future held. The story was far from over, and the challenges that lay ahead would test the resolve of every human in the galaxy. But one thing was certain. They would face the coming storm together, united in their determination to survive. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.